I had a couple guys set this up for me ahead of time, and I had to correct a few things, unfortunately. They didn't put the J-weep on. Double tar paper. In the industry, first thing you should check when you're doing some outside application in a new environment is check the code. A lot of people have tie back on, and then they'll just put on the lath and scratch coat it and start laying. That's a big no-no. It should have at least double D tar paper. Some of them ask for mortar vent, which is another drainage system behind the lath part. It just depends what area you're in and what your application is. Another thing is a lot of people don't understand that you can actually put thin stone over a brick that's been put up. Brick's already got the vent. Hopefully it's all been done right and it has the drainage system behind it. You can literally stick the mud or stone on the back of that, mud it up, stick it on, and cover up old masonry. It's a great way to do it. Block too. So it is kind of a hands-on deal. Any questions anyone got? Because I did not prep this at all, as you can tell.
Yeah, hypothetically, what kind of surfaces are you starting behind? What kind of surfaces are you starting behind? Does that change?
This is plywood. We just got it on plywood, and most people have plywood now. They used to have that built right, but I haven't seen that on a few applications.
Okay.
But yeah, I would always hope that everyone would have a plywood on the back of this, and some people will have tie back. You still have to put the double D tar paper so you have a drainage system.
Some places even want you to take the tie back off because the tie back will hold the moisture.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's what you don't want moisture inside of it.
Very good.
Now, is this interior or exterior?
Can be done both.
Both.
Okay, I'm just-
I still put it on because if you put it over sheetrock, that double D tar paper will help from the mud drying too fast
Yeah.
and soaking up the moisture from the mud and not sticking properly.
I'm just thinking, I don't know whether it'd be an application of outdoor with a plywood backing.
Need to be treated.
Treat, well, no. And that's what some of them put the tie back on.
What a lot of people will do is they'll build wooden columns and then plywood over it, and then for that, or you'll get areas that at one point had siding over them, and you'll want to change it off like a wainscot. So that is where you have the plywood backing.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Note that when you're putting your lath on, you want to screw that directly to the studs, not just into the
Right.
plywood.
Yeah, good addition. Number one thing, actually, that's what holds up the wall.
So what do you do if you have sheet rock? Do you attach plywood to the sheet rock then?
So I generally don't recommend doing over sheetrock. I would say pull the sheetrock down and then put plywood up.
Yep.
Just because sheetrock can crumble, moisture can get into it. I generally,
If you're doing interior and you're pulling your sheetrock down, you can do Durarock over it now, you can do your scratch
Yeah.
fries.
Yeah, I have had issues with Durarock in the past, but I know there are some good Durarock out there that you can stick on, but sometimes I've noticed they have kind of a plastic coating on some of the Durarock,
Yep.
and some of the stuff is harder to stick on. So if you can save, if someone's starting a wall and they're gonna do something, quarter-inch plywood isn't that expensive. And make sure you hit studs. I always mark the lines on the wall when I do it, so I do hit studs when I even screw in the lath. But when you're screwing into this wall, you got every 16 inches in areas. This has 8-inch areas and 16-inch areas. But you try to hit a stud. That's what holds up the brick.
Just note too, when you're doing your lath, you can actually run your hand up and down the lath, and if you run it up and it feels smooth, and then run it down, you'll feel these cups that are on there. You want those cups basically as
Up.
up, so when you come down, because that's actually what holds the motor in.
So
And
you
then
good?
when you're also laying your lath on, Dan, is there 2 or 3 inch overhang between sheets? The 2 inch?
They recommend at least 2 inches.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
usually about a 3, because I think it's 27 by
Yeah.
8 foot, so it's about a 3 inch. When you put them on board.
Yeah. Each sheet covers 16 square feet, even though it's more than 2 by 8. It's 27 by 8.
And I know you're gonna do 2 different methods here, but is there a preference of one or the other, interior versus exterior?
So the left side is actually a tab system for bricks, so it's a little bit of a different
Oh,
install.
okay.
But both can be done interior.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. In
Your
this
stone, that
aspect.
would be the same, like a brick, all the same size. If you spent the money, you could use it with stone, but it's set up for brick, which is gonna be all the same.
Yeah, so this pretty big piece of stone, this is what I always do when we start out, is I cover the whole back of the stone. You don't have to put a lot on. I'm out of practice because it's been at least 20 years. But,
When it comes to mortar too, consistency will help much better. What you want to do is you want to be able to put it on the trowel and tip the trowel sideways, and it shouldn't just willfully run off. It should stick
Yeah.
to that.
and you squeeze it on there, push it on.
Now, if it's also a real hot day and you're in the sun, you may have to pre-wet your scratch coat so it doesn't pull out when you put that mortar on there.
There are additives too, acrylic additives that make the mortar stickier, tackier, which can help out, especially if you're doing larger chunks of stone. Another thing is that there's a mortar out there called PVC mortar that has and the fibers pretty blended with it. It's more expensive, but it works wonders in doing large chunks. It makes it very, very easy.
And Dan, what's the reason why you're cleaning up around the stone?
Because I grout with a grout bag, because I find that's cleaner. Some people will leave it on. There's no wrong way to do it, but
Real quick, Dan, we'll keep going, but I just don't lay that stone. I want to point out something first.
go ahead.
Oh, just you want to explain to them why you're doing the cupping where you have the air pocket in there?
Yeah, that's what helps it stick on the wall too.
So when he's doing that, he's creating suction.
Yeah, and I'm still covering the whole back of the stone so you won't have problem with drainage. I mean, water getting behind it. And when you squeeze it on, of course
Flattens
it's,
it all out so you have no air pockets.
yes. And I just kind of picked the middle of the wall because there's no perfect world scenario how you do this on jobs. And
On thin veneer, it's a little bit more important to clean that up, whereas if you have 4-inch veneer, when you're mortaring, it isn't quite so bad because you want enough when you grout it so it'll grab. And Dan's making sure that it's got suction all the way around, that's why
Yeah.
it's going around the stone.
And then I seen there was no mud on this corner, so I kind of filled the back up.
And then don't worry if you have mortar on the stone right now.
It washes off.
Water or a lake rod.
And this, when it dries, you can actually wipe it off with that when it dries. Anyone want to come up and grab a piece of stone and try this? Because that's kind of what this is supposed to be all about.
So, real quick too, thin veneer has corner application, so it's little pieces that are cut at 90-degree angles. And I usually recommend starting with, you kind of work in sections. I work from the bottom up, some people work from top down, but I will do a couple rows of corners first to start and then fill in the middle.
Very good point. We don't have a corner application, but that's very good that you brought that up. And I was guessing to see if this would work, but I guess it is gonna not be so bad. But, yeah, number one thing on the back is getting that first course and then going. I feel like I'm on about 2 hours sleep too, just so you know.
There are gonna be times too when you're gonna have to change a stone, change the dimensions of it. The easiest way to do it, I've found, if you don't have a giant expensive splitting machine, is just take the back of the stone, and I just use an angle grinder, and you just score it about 2/3 halfway through, and then just break it off with a hammer. You'll still see the cut mark you know, in the back of the stone, but the front will look like a natural face.
Yeah.
So it just gets buried when you put mortar on.
Yeah.
So, right away, I see this, if I had a saw, I would cut that off. So, you can take it off still and still use it and flip the stone around, or else. I like, this stuff does break off very easy without saw. Saws, a 4-inch grinder is best.
And you just work your way around to get it to break.
Yeah,
Did you see how he did that? He
So it
worked
straightens
the
out?
Top and the back, just keep doing it.
and you want it rounded, so it's not, no, I mean, stone, there's no perfect. And I see this too, this feels like it's gonna break. Like it did. That's only one thing that works against you if you don't pay attention when you're putting up your stone. But mud covers up a lot of stuff too. And stone is laid with a 1/2-inch joint. We sell it. Number one complaint, people think that we short them on stone. Stone is sold to us with a 1/2-inch mortar joint, 1/2 inch to 5/8. So when they get a 100-foot box, if they dry stack it, they're gonna actually need 75 feet of stone added to the order. So, I mean, how many people have come across that and they think they got shorted because they did so much wall, but yet their joints ain't perfectly, I mean, a tighter joint looks better, but it's sold with a 1/2-inch joint. I mean, that's my number one complaint. I hear from masons saying that we shorted them on stone.
And when it's natural cleft like that, it's laid in a natural pattern, a 1-to-1, 2-to-1. Dan will show you that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yesterday is when I pulled the stone and I just grabbed 2 boxes. Because I asked somebody to pull out stone for me the day before and they forgot. So, you always have the 2-to-1 or sometimes 3-to-1. I have actually jumpers in here.
Jumpers are what we refer to as stone that's larger than 9 inches in height. Most of the, just about the industry standard is your boxes or your bulk crates are gonna come with a 2-inch to a 9-inch, if it's not a saw on top and bottom too.
Sometimes it's 2 to 8, and then the jumpers sometimes are considered 6 to 10. Every now and then you may get some 11 or 12 inch, but
Yeah. So, I'm not much for talking and doing at the same time. It's good that you guys fill in. Any of you guys can come up to the way that worked for us.
Get up there, Andy.
I mean,
Anybody in the audience can try it, they should get there and.
yeah, this wall can be torn out, we're gonna tear it down so it doesn't matter too much what it looks like. I might be creating problems on here on purpose too, and show you a way to get out of it.
You'll notice this on some of the stones. They have
The lips,
a lip on the bottom. This one's not too prominent. This is just from the sawing process. It doesn't really affect anything. If you get a really big one, just snap it off. It's really easy. But it doesn't really affect
and
anything.
mud will cover it up.
Yep. It just sometimes takes out of the profile you don't want to see.
So here's a little piece that I'm gonna put in on this one. But everybody's stonework looks different, because everyone has a different style. Over the years, I can go to job sites that people I worked with for years, and I can tell who did the stone by looking at their stone. And a finger actually is a pretty good tool for gapping, because It's about 1/2 inch. It might be a little thicker when you got some heads like myself.
And then Dan, the reason we do that random pattern is to break up vertical and horizontal joints, correct?
Yeah, I hate it when I come to a job and people lay it like brick. And you got vertical lines going all the way through. You'll have one go up here. This is one thing I would just, so to stop you from getting in that habit. I would cover this up right away. So you don't create a river joint. Up and down, straight up and down joint is bad. It makes the wall look bad, and it makes you look bad as a mason. Remember, I'm a laborer, not a mason. So, any other problems you guys come up against?
Any questions?
Questions?
This
Oh, I was just wondering how long the mud stays good for.
it depends, yeah.
Mud takes 28 to 30 days to dry completely.
To fully cure, but it's, I mean,
Yeah.
it's workable for, it could be a half hour, it could be, I don't know, sun outside where every 15 minutes you're sprinkling water. You just want to keep it consistent with peanut butter. If you have to add more water, add more water.
Yeah, I got mine a little thinner than most people have it, but
Don't you temper, it makes up smaller amounts, so you're not having to add water, too much water, because you can lose the strength then.
takes strength away.
How high can you usually go before you worry about it starting to?
It won't
slide?
sag.
Huh?
It won't sag.
No, okay.
Yeah, that's what I tried. I did. The guy was complaining to me saying that mud doesn't stick to the top of, or keep sliding down on us because it don't stick. You don't have sticky enough mud, and I can stick one at the very top.
Do you ever use ties when you're doing a, particularly tall building?
No,
Ties
Not
are
on
used
mu- not on
full
joints.
veneer
but
because of the mass.
Right.
see, that will hold up. It's a myth. I mean, it's how you butter up the back of it to make it stick. And if people are pounding on the wall, yeah, that's going to happen.
Didn't they years and years ago when they first started the man-made veneer, have you start at the top so you didn't spill as you were working your way up, Dan?
Yeah,
Isn't that what they were having you do, is start at the top, so
a lot of people did. My dad never thought that was really stupid to do it that way. Because you can make a cut at the top of the wall when you're done.
it doesn't show as much as if you start down by the hearth or at the floor.
They,
You can
they,
lose it.
they say that it creates a cleaner wall starting at the top, but that depends on people that grout it before or after. I mean, I've seen many people do it from the top down and it worked out great for them. But when they get down to the hearth where they can't go anywhere else, and you have a skinny piece like that on the bottom, how does that look? At the top, people accept
People
that.
are looking up.
You could put trim on. But
And this process is all the same for manufactured stone as well. No change.
I'll think of a scratch coat you put on there.
well, this is almost too thick. You can actually, just as long as you cover that lath, and you should be able to see the lath through the scratch coat. So if you smear this up, I mean, right there, that's almost too thick, but it's still workable. It's not gonna be bad, but I think it helps the stone stick on better if you have a little bit of lath shown. Yeah, because you'll be going through a lot of mud doing that
Yeah,
this way, because you should be able to get 30, 40 feet out of a bag
sure.
of mud. You know what I'm
Just
saying?
about how that goes.
So Dan, so basically your scratch coat is going to be like a skim coat,
Pretty much.
pretty much just covering that like a skim
Yeah.
coat would on the wall. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, and on some people that are going over brick or block, some people will make them put lath on over that block just to make it stay.
And the reason being is if the people painted the brick
Yes,
or painted the stone, remember, your mud will stick and that can peel off. So you use Tapcons or something where you actually are drilling into the brick, because that'll also help hold the veneer up.
I've also, and we touched on base on this, I've put scratch coats over just cinder block before, simply because cinder block has a higher PSI than this mortar, so its absorption rate is a lot lower. And so it just didn't, the mortar wasn't sticking when I had the stone on it. So if I put a scratch coat, the mortar would adhere better to that, just because they have the same absorption rate. So,
Yes.
So Dan, you just cleaned off, there was a little bit of the cut, he was using his trowel.
Yeah.
If you do it at an angle, you can knock it out, so you don't always need a brick hammer.
Yeah.
Cleaned up.
Yeah, never. I very rarely have to use a brick hammer on a stone job, but it's nice to have because it makes good cuts. No. But see, there's little holes that you'll create. I'm sopping the shit out of it too. Excuse my language.
We've got to move, folks.
So right now I'm creating a problem if I keep on doing this.
Does anybody know what the problem is gonna be?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a running bond that looks just like a brick wall. And in some cases, when they do tailored, they like that look.
Tailored is a small height veneer where you can, usually it's two, on the smaller it's 2 1/4,
Yep,
5 and 7 3/4.
3/4 and 10 and a half
Yep.
and 12 and goes up to 14 if you get jumpers. I did grab a box of 20% jumpers, but there's not a lot of big pieces in here. This is, so that's why I'm doing this little breakup thing. And this is, they're supposed to be their jumper. And you should be able to see it in the stone, because you can tell by looking at a stone how it's quarried.
Jumpers are nice if you have a big wall area, but if you're just doing the 2 legs on a fireplace, it may be hard to get jumpers. Because a lot of times it's only 12 or 14 or 16 inches, and you see how big jumpers, so it's better to stay with the standard 2 to 8s.
Yeah, this big wall out here behind the desk, there's jumpers in that one, but if you look on the fireplace right there, there's hardly any at all. And then also on the boards, the display boards out there, there's a few on the bigger boards, but again, mostly smaller ones.
Yeah, and usually when you're doing a big wall too, you should have at least 10% waste. You know, I brought 2 boxes for 16 square feet. It's not really enough to do a wall like this to make it look perfect. And not picking the right 2 stone boxes helped too, because I thought I had Kettle Creek with jumpers and that was a regular box, but it wasn't. It's got these 2, what's that called?
Basically rustic, isn't it?
Yeah, rustic seam.
Which is a weathered edge.
Yeah, weathered edge.
Now,
This
say
is
for example you decide
country
that
square.
stone that you stuck up on the top,
Yeah,
can you pull that since it's been sitting there that long and
Yeah.
clean it up and reuse it again?
of course.
Okay.
That's the best part about it.
You clean it completely off and
Yes.
redo it.
Yep, and it'll stick.
So if you get into a bind and something like that, and you're working and you can
Yeah.
find a different stone, you
I-
can pull it off and redo it. Now, will they have to clean up the top, clean that off, Dan, where it was sticking?
Yeah, most of it came off,
Yep.
but yeah, that's a good point to make, because you should have a. Here's a big piece, because I'm gonna think about covering this up. And
See,
any
you're
thoughts
doing-
on that? You think
Yes,
that's?
you're doing how the vertical and the horizontal lines is breaking it up.
Yeah. I'd be yelling at a tender with
Start
labor.
mixing more mud, right?
Why is my mud getting so sloppy? It's not blended right, not tempered right. Best guy in the job is your mason tender.
Well, why are you doing that, Dan? Flipping it up and dropping it?
I'm stirring it up to get the dry stuff mixed in with the wet stuff, so it's usable, because it
So it's
wasn't.
all usable then?
Yeah. Yeah, because you can keep on tempering mud. You can make mud last up to 3 hours on board without adding a lot of water. You can add water, they recommend not to. And yeah, I'm creating a little pocket here for it to go.
When you're grabbing your stones too, I'm always thinking 3 steps ahead. And so I'm pulling, okay, this one's gonna go here, but then I have to find something to go here and here. So you're putting together a puzzle that doesn't exist.
No
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good point, Matt. 'Cause,
3 or 4 people could get the same stone and work or in a different area.
be
and make it
completely
work.
different.
And that's probably why it helps to have a really good selection of different boxes of stone
Yes.
to work with.
Yeah, when you're laying stone, let's say if you want to pull from multiple boxes at a time, because you don't necessarily know if that box came from the exact same quarry as the next part. There could be slight differences, so you don't want to have noticeably different areas. So you're pulling from 3, 4 boxes at a time.
So I had a little thing that was saying and not holding upright. Little cheat thing is grab a piece of hard mud or stone and put it in there to hold it up. So it only takes a few minutes to hold it up. So
You just need that to sit in there for a while till that mud sets up,
yeah,
correct?
maybe 5-10 minutes and you'll be able to pull it out.
You wanna try laying wood or some stone?
Yeah, that's what this is. Hands-on. It's no one's gonna laugh at you,
Nice chair.
Matt. You've laid stone before.
Oh, he
I was
does.
told.
I'll try one.
He's running.
I'll try one.
I know you can do it.
Get the water to temper.
I'll get you some decent mud like a good labor does.
This is a pretty specific question, because our first job for laying this is going to be against concrete.
So you sit on your block,
It makes them all together so it's nice.
or like before the wall.
Yep, for the wall.
So is that a little bit more runny than you normally use? Is that
Okay,
right?
so test for it, so
This is,
should
in
we-
my
do we
opinion,
need
is
to still
absolute
add
perfect line.
wood, or
You don't-
just
Too many,
that
I put
big-
too much mud on some of the
You just,
pieces,
pour water, you don't have to.
And that's why it's good.
I would just.
but see, remember how I did here with that?
Scratch coat.
Just do that.
If it's been painted,
It's not.
okay.
Yeah, you might want to do it with just a thin scratch coat. I would take just a test piece of
Then
stone.
go back to your board
Border
and-
on it.
you know what,
Well,
I'll show you a
if
little
it's not
trick.
sticking very well,
That'll help
you want to
you.
do a scratch coat. Or if it's sticking just fine.
You can go in like this,
Is there any
tap the
specific
trowel, lick it,
product
then you can
or
go.
scratch coat to use, like it's a brand one?
So.
Yeah,
now we got
see what I
spec
mean?
mix.
Yep.
So not-
That's why a guy doesn't have to go back to the board because he has
Stones in your
those.
mortar.
Stone.
And that can be used for your scratch.
Is this stuff?
Yep.
And put the
Yeah,
stone on it.
yeah, and
Does
when
that
you
have like a
apply it,
text
twist
in
it, turn
to
it.
sticky?
That one
Go
does.
ahead and put
The,
it down there and finish the
PVT
ass.
mortar
Put it up
has
and down.
even more
I'll just put it
adherence
right
and
here,
stickiness to it, but it's like 3 times the bag.
And what
And I always put my fingers in between to hold it up, so you know that you're far enough
Smells
apart.
form like Elmer's glue, but it helps the bonding. And what it does is with that scratch coat, since that's dried already, so when you put your mortar on there, by having that in
Yeah,
there,
so,
and you put that
just
on
so
there,
you're,
it actually draws the piece in, doesn't allow the curing or cured concrete to pull any moisture
I
out
don't
before
like this.
it gets a
Box of
chance
stone there.
to do the chemical process. That's why I said
They
the
call that
sun,
way
if your
from
sun, you didn't have to go all over the squirt bottle and keep it wet.
I know, yeah.
Suction, so it stays.
See what it also created there is,
Laticrete,
No, no.
quickcrete, pipe bomb.
Because we got one here.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah, what I should have done is had it, so,
yep.
We should have made it
Good
so
piece.
easy simple here.
yeah, alright. So, cool, I think I have a piece.
There you go.
T225.
But somebody else can come in.
Liquid.
Thanks.
Those are the ones that are.
That's all the, you're gonna
Most of
contribute?
the mortars now. have
Hey,
in there.
I don't want to take, I don't want to.
Yes, yes,
When you're done, you throw your tools away, because you never get them clean.
correct.
Anyone that's got an upcoming job that wants to see a few tricks, I'll show them right now.
Can't get
So I
them.
have
You can't as long as you're.
You gotta be hands-on when you do it, though.
It's better to maybe spray or wash a little before you, not wash it really heavy, but just make it kind of a.
Yep.
No, that ain't gonna work.
Sticker.
Yep.
A little bit better.
I did the same.
Yeah.
So if it's painted, what's the,
If it's painted, you're gonna have to do last.
Yep.
The scratch coat.
Yep, they'll make you, because it just won't stick. Except that PBTI will stick to everything, but
No, that stuff will. But then you also run into moisture.
That's horrible looking.
Paint grabs moisture. Oh, you
And why is that horrible
You
looking?
broke
Dan?
the rule, Dan.
huh?
You broke the rule.
Yeah. You should have had a smaller piece if you had, you could have broken one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah, you could have tried harder.
We're just gonna sit down here and digest.
Yeah, and you know what? That's why you can go like this, oh, this stinks. It's not good. And put a stone that breaks that piece up there. And use a longer one. That's what you guys are here to, kinda contribute. See now how that breaks it up then?
But you know what also makes it really hard is you're only working in a very tight area.
Yeah.
So you can't get a,
Yeah, you don't have
For
a,
example, around the fireplace in there,
yeah.
you only have 12 to 16 or 18 inches, so yeah, you gotta be very careful with your stone. That's why you don't want too many of the jumpers.
He
yes.
doesn't have a huge stone
It-
to work with.
So
And
it's working
what's really
towards
good
that.
for you people that hire people out, you can come back and point out what they're doing wrong.
No, you could, I mean, you could chisel, use the chisel and a hammer or just use your
And make a
Brickstone
piece.
to break a
Yeah,
piece.
yeah, I actually have that with me. Here's about 100-year-old one. That's from my, probably way back, 40s. And this is a brick set, good for trimming stone.
Can you use the same stuff that you can use for a retaining wall?
The splitter,
Yeah.
the reason being is it's a flat blade.
Yeah.
Block and pavers are flat, stone is waved, so it'll be on pressure points, so it won't always break nice and clean. Now, if it was cut on both sides, and the blades could touch it, yes. So we've got a Mighty C splitter, which is a thing that we can shape it, or you can take that brick hammer and a chisel.
So if you look at a stone too, this is the seam right here. If I were to take that hammer and just start tapping along that, it's
Yeah.
better than a split
And you
right
don't
there.
break it in one or two,
So-
you keep tapping to get that. Can you split it?
Probably.
Or let somebody try it?
Yep.
You can already hear it. Oh, she broke in a different seam.
Yeah?
But it's got some
Never go
fill-in
for big
pieces.
pictures of what it is, you know?
You know that, we've got some fill-in pieces there. Yeah.
Go for it. Vicky.
This is where the 10% is.
And Andy, we're gonna tear this wall down so Steve never sees it.
Well, I'll take a couple
See
pictures
it
first.
cracked on me where it wasn't hit.
And I'll show how much you came in
See my
to
mark?
lay stone.
But you know, those pieces can
Just trying
work
to follow
somewhere
that
else.
seam.
It's not like they're gonna.
Yeah, they're not
What's
waste.
happening is
So it's still
Yeah.
have.
There's no real wrong. You guys, it's your own art and how you want it to
I've
look.
got some smaller pieces, but you gotta follow that seam and you can still see where I was hitting it. It didn't work.
Yeah. See, I can now, I should look and see if I got skinny pieces to go in there. And I picked a box of jumpers
Including that,
with no twos.
so that's where you want.
So I
to clean that
picked two
off.
stone that should have been laid,
Because that was a taller
should be laid
piece,
together.
So then you just take your hammer.
And that piece is laid.
It's laid sideways. That was what I was talking about, Dan.
I know, well, I'm doing stuff to make you guys catch it.
I would take that out and split it in two and put it back in there. Because you've got a really big,
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
This is a nice hammer.
Sometimes you might think that I'm really stupid, but I've been waiting for someone to say something. This is one
it's just
that,
annoying me.
it was so overly whelming bad that, yeah, so come on
Well, I
up.
know you are, that's why I said go on.
Now, Dan, since you said you were a tender, now, were you able to, since you're walking up pouring mud, to help those guys at times? Tell them that, break the bond, or?
No, they would wanna snap your neck, but when you point out something that was right,
Yep.
you would have to be very kind and generous about it. So this is the way you wanna try to split it in half. Now I can put that in there.
And it's running the right way.
Yes. See? Very smart. Give her an A.
One would almost think I've done this before.
I think Brandon saw it.
Yeah.
So if you are doing.
This is all about teaching, and that's why I'm trying to make mistakes, and it's easy because.
So when you are doing something with a corner application, just note that for every lineal foot, 1 lineal foot of vertical up and down, you're taking up 3/4 of a square foot. So that's just gonna help you when you're calculating how much material you're gonna need.
And see how now I got that straight line. Now I can actually break that up too. And not have that piece. So, Jeff, you wanna lay one?
I was hoping
I
to
was
get somebody
supposed
up
to-
here.
Yeah, I was not supposed to lay more than about 5 pieces.
Come on and try.
Yes, sure.
Dan will work with you and show you.
Oh, I like helping more.
Now, he's re-tempering the mud.
Yeah, making sure it's nice for you.
Yeah, get your pair of gloves.
And if you don't want a big
You want here, we'll
towel,
get her a pair of
Go
gloves.
get you.
we got a small one that handles pretty easy, but you're
Do we have another pair of gloves?
like that.
Yeah, we're gonna get a pair of gloves.
Yeah, hold on, we're getting you a pair of gloves.
grab her a pair of gloves.
Yep.
And that's one
I
thing
think
too.
that was the one you were gonna put up there. But
Yeah, or longer, if you could find a longer one, so you go past, you wanna get past this joint and come out to up there. Perfect. That's the one I do. And
With no gloves.
remember how tight I had it against the stone?
Here you go.
Yeah.
I'll give it to her right now.
is that 2 seconds?
Yeah, see, I'd show you something that will really help you out. See me hold my stone here?
There you go. Right there.
Nice and tight. And
So it's
see how I
pretty
snap that
thin.
trowel on there? I can go along. See, mud won't fall off.
Clean that off and let her try it again.
I'll let her try something
You did
else.
a nice job.
You can just squeeze or push and twist.
Now remember, start a
Keep your
little
fingers-
high.
Yeah, keep
Start a
your
little bit
fingers in
higher.
between the joints so you ain't too
Oh, this
high.
high.
Down a little bit. Yeah, because once you get it on there, you can just twist and
And then just hold it.
adjust it a little bit. You got it. Yeah, you'd be surprised. And when you get something that slides on you, and you know it's sliding, you grab a little cheater. Set it
You can
down.
even steal the one over here now, Dan, because this should be set up.
Yeah. It's not bad, but you're starting to get into the tight joints.
There you
And
go.
then you always clean your back of your stone. Some people leave it there for grouting later, but you did a great job.
Why do you clean it up, Jim?
Because when I grout it, I want to grout it all the way to the back with the bag, grout bag, and it won't pop out later. I have seen people do it the way they say that my way's wrong, and their joints start cracking and popping out.
So there's stuff right there.
Yeah, because they're
Sealed
dry,
together.
yeah, there's some dry, some wet. You know what I mean?
Could you scratch out the joints a bit after they've sort of set up a little bit?
Yeah, it's nice, yeah, you can do that, yeah. Clean them up, and, yeah, I have, all kinds of these. I got shorter ones, longer ones, skinny
Now, you
ones.
could put 2 pieces in there if you find 2 narrow ones, shorter and narrower.
Right.
Yeah, how long
Too
is that?
small though? Looks a little
Well,
small.
yeah, remember you got,
See,
Mud.
that would be
Yeah.
better.
yeah, so those two. And then you can use that small truck, that small one that for that.
So you're gonna do it right this time.
Yeah, just smear it tight against the back. Yep. Yeah, it's harder than it looks sometimes.
Once you get used to it, you'll know how much to put on your trowel.
Yeah, yeah.
Are there any tricks to the trade? I did a job last year building an outdoor kitchen. The stone was approximately an inch deep,
Yep.
only a half-inch wide, and I had a hell of a time trying to keep it stay on the wall.
You put too much mud on it. Yeah.
On
So I'm grabbing it so I can do it with the big tool. I can still do the same
Yeah.
in all in one.
I'm thinking you got twice as much sticking out as you have bonding.
Yeah.
Counterweight out there.
Oh, sure.
So you see that skinny piece? I still got a hollow piece in the middle.
That's where you'd want to add some sort of acrylic.
And that's just for
I have to
suction.
shimmer every line.
Yeah, that helps create the suction and
Yeah, you wanna
holding
add-
power.
So it was an outdoor kitchen and didn't have a countertop that stuck over? Could they use the SRW?
You could probably do vertical lock.
There's a vertical lock glue, and then you could tuck point, come back and tuck point afterwards.
You got it. See? We're a piece of cake. She's better than 80% of the masons out there lately.
Do we have that glue back here?
What's that?
Didn't we have a tube of that glue back here?
Yeah, it's well over here.
I hate when stone, everyone's got to know when it gets stone too, it's got stone dust on it from the factory. They don't come clean, they need to be washed.
That's an important thing to say too, especially if you got stone that has a lot of color in it or variation. You'll want to pull your boxes apart, spray it all down so you're not getting, saturated area with just this
If
one
you
color.
see another area you want to put it in, we can work this as a team easy.
I don't know, I stepped out a minute, but did
You wanna do a skim on it?
stone everything, you decided?
Yeah, I would.
Warmed up, brought in, and-
I'm taking this big piece to show
You don't
you
want it
So
sitting
how
on
long should it be inside before you start working with it?
how you can break up
probably
stuff.
12 to 18 hours at least.
Okay. What would happen if it's too cold?
Mortar won't adhere.
Yeah, you gotta be above 40 degrees and it should be for 24 hours.
40 degrees,
Inside.
above 40 degrees.
Above 40 degrees, 45 is even.
Okay.
So where should we stick this one?
Top right.
Yep,
Right here.
that's where I had mine, but I actually got,
Stone, just a little thin,
that'll work,
twice as
because we're in the middle of that.
constantly.
This may be something you can try. You still have to tuck point,
Right.
so.
Yeah, some people get a little afraid that it's gonna fall off,
Wait,
but it won't.
come back to the.
Yeah, and they call these wedges when they put these little pieces in. And you take them out when you're done. See how that's already turned up? That's why, people like you have more of a vision than the dumb old guy like me looking at a wall. I just say, ah. Yeah,
In the interest of time.
very good.
Dan,
Yeah,
this
we
is
can-
probably.
this is probably the quickest thing.
Yeah, I just wanted to
Period.
make
I
sure
could-
that we got that.
I
in.
could do this in 10 minutes versus.
Yeah, I just wanted, it's about 11:15. and-
Okay,
But yeah, no, we're fine. I just wanted you to know what time it was.
yeah. Yeah, so where's the SRW glue?
Right here, Dan. Might have to push it through.
Isn't there?
No, it looks like somebody might have done it, but I'll check it.
I cut everything off. It should
Did you poke a hole?
You got ready?
Yeah, it should be.
You are the ultimate tender.
Or you gotta use the nail and.
Yeah.
Oh, should be good.
Is it coming
Did
through?
it pop? If not, you got the nail right here, pull it.
It's
through.
trying, I know, but it's sealed up. That's why popping your hole as early is bad. Yeah, it should. It's glued in there. Here's a try.
Yes, they do glue that in there.
Yeah, always clean have a towel with or something to clean that tip off.
Oh, you know,
Andy.
there's something we never addressed.
Hey, that was that.
Whenever you're doing anything with stone and you're using a chisel and a hammer or anything to hit it, you should have,
Those safety glasses.
yeah.
Yes,
You're not here up there.
very, very good
No, that's a
point.
very good point.
Unfortunately, I have a friend that just lost his eye because for so many years he hasn't used it, and the one day he didn't use it, now he's a one-eyed bandit at 58 years old, 59.
Hey, those safety glasses.
Sunglasses work.
And he was cutting overhead with
No more hip breaking.
a saw. Anyone else want to get up here?
Anybody want to try this brick?
Yeah, this is working real. Is this old glue?
Shouldn't be. It was on.
What the
I
heck?
don't know how long it was on the rack, I guess, but I just grabbed it off the rack.
Wow.
Do you want to try a new tube?
That was right next to that on the rack, so.
Yeah, that should come out like butter, and I made another hole. And this isn't even right because it's got a S. So this is pretty self-explanatory because
It's going right in a tab system.
it's going in a tab system, and you want to keep them 3/8 of an inch apart, which is,
So that's for the vertical and the horizontal joints, correct?
yeah, and that's already spaced because when we start here, we gotta make sure that we do our bond right too. Because on that wall, that back at work, that's wrong. Wrong bond.
The one in the meeting room or?
The one that I put up in the,
Oh, across from the city desk?
yeah, yeah, that's like the third bond that's wrong.
Dan, on brick like that, how do you know which is the face and which is the back?
Well, actually, that's pretty self-explanatory on this one.
Yeah.
But I actually did a whole job that they needed to use the backs as much as they needed the fronts to get the color that they needed to match. Because it was too white, and it was this very brick, matching the Oaks brick.
Right.
Well, actually, it had a gray
But
back.
usually on brick, one face is the one that either has the texture, the color, or the
You
blending.
need to definitely get a different glue gun, or glue.
Well, we can try this one.
Yeah, let's see how that squeezes out.
Well, yeah.
So are there different tab systems with?
Yeah, we have-
wider spacing too?
Yes,
Because there's different heights of the brick.
Can you see the,
Yes.
what you have on the back? How are you fitting them in there?
they,
No, they're not
they're
actually sliding
pre-spaced.
into the,
They're
okay.
pre-spaced, so there's really nothing to it.
Yeah.
It's a
So
no-brainer.
Okay.
And it really, for
There's actually
redoing this,
tabs on the
Yeah.
grid, got it.
and keeps the spacing right. And there, if you use too skinny a brick, which I have run across, when they grout it later, they'll see the tabs through the grout.
He's getting you some new glue, so don't kill yourself. Because that's not coming out.
Yeah,
Just like,
I actually do have a grip.
I know you do.
Yeah, there's something definitely wrong with that one.
Wow.
Yeah, this is oh, I hate to lose this. You guys gonna tear this down?
So when you go to grout the brick in here, do you just put the grout bag for that?
Yep,
Okay,
I have a grout bag right there, and the mud's gotta be a lot looser with that.
yeah.
And you can grout it the same day as you put
If it
that.
isn't loose enough, when you go to squeeze it, you can push the tip right on out and make a mess.
Yeah. I got it. I kinda got a problem going on in this wall already. I don't have no 1-inch pieces.
You need some 1-inch?
Yeah, so we can make up, that should have been part of the,
Dan, here's, well, this is
that would have been a good
a 1-inch to 2-inch.
complaint from a mason, calling how come you didn't get good pieces. But I grabbed that out of That might have been returned box.
Yeah, here.
Good job.
Someone-
Here's that skinny piece that guy says, sometimes you'll have, too many people put too much mud on these pieces. And it's actually better to use this one. So I just smeared a little bit on the center and that little bit on the edge. One side of the little big gap there.
Nope, not gonna play nice.
Well, you should have a grinder,
Yeah.
and we can't do that in these indoors because it would.
The law.
Yeah, it is the law now. Although when I
Is that
was
working
in
anymore?
Mason, they didn't have us wear masks. They didn't have us. There's guys mixing mud in a shack that was enclosed. And a lot of them, I got cancer from that, silicosis.
So can I be horrible and point something out to you? I'm sure
Yeah.
everybody, you probably know it too, but if when you're building something like this, and this is again a short area, if you have
Yeah.
a bigger wall, you
Yeah.
don't want to have it run like that.
No, you want to break it up.
You'd probably be better off maybe doing, something here, or maybe not have put that in the wall, right?
Yeah,
Don't you
actually, I could have took this piece and put it right here
Right.
and broke it up. Good catch.
No, I'm just thinking for everybody else looking at it, it would probably be
See?
better if you, moved it.
Let's see how hard that's stuck
Yeah.
in there?
No, it's great stuff.
Yeah, I was told when you teach a class to do some wrong and have people try to catch it.
Sorry.
And it helps
I mean,
people.
it was.
No, so, that, you would have got extra point for that one.
Yeah, this is a smaller information.
Yeah.
See the center stone that would come up higher?
Yeah, you can get a wall looking lopsided too by putting too many big stone on one side and too many small on the other. Yeah,
You wouldn't notice it if it was a bigger wall.
Did you find a softer sided one?
yeah, that's why the person behind the wall sometimes is your best eyes.
Yeah, it helps to stand back and like.
Yeah, and look at it. That's where I learned most of the stuff.
Big.
No, the art doesn't matter so much.
White cats are-
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna do.
Oh.
I'm gonna grab the bag here.
But the small section, just the amount of.
What, I had a quantity.
Design like that in a relatively small area, but it's easy to carry it on without making that run, you know what I mean?
Yeah, some masons will get upset when a homeowner watches them, but sometimes if I get along with the homeowner, I don't mind it. Cause they can point out stuff that they don't like. And I can take it out, it's a lot easier taking it out the same day. But a lot of masons would kill me just saying that. Because some people might point out the wrong stuff. Like if I could've got Merlin to show up, my mason that I use. So you want it right there?
Oh, I was just trying to point out to people what they should.
Yeah, cause that's
It's easy to get going on a run and then forget about where your lines are, and you
Yep.
need to stand back and look at what you're doing so that you can kind of,
that's,
you know what I mean?
we're gonna hire you for the next class, cause,
No, I'm the one who sits back.
I love
and
it, though.
points stuff out.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I can't.
No,
I don't mean to be rude
that's-
or anything, you know?
that's one of Steve's pet peeves, the owner of the company, when he sees river joints and straight lines going across. And it can be so avoidable, and somebody that doesn't even do it for a living points it out. You don't lay stone for
I
a living.
used to. I did
Yeah.
for years.
So, yeah, it's a huge point, and it's better to catch when it's wet than when it's dry. Did you find a glue gun that works yet?
I haven't found any tubes that are soft. So I think we may be done with that other than just.
That's super simple, that tab system is probably the best thing we ever came out with, and I should have grabbed glue from my office, or,
That's good for exterior or interior, that tab system?
yeah. Yeah, interior, exterior, and they got two types of tap system. They got a really good drainage system that's even more beefy than this, that's for commercial. That works great. And, yeah, we are gonna have both of them available.
Now, because of the different size bricks, can you get that system for kings, queens?
They have 2 3/4 heights, utility heights 3.5, or 3 5/8.
But it's never for an angle stone unless it's cut.
Well, it'd have to be cut almost like brick.
They actually make stuff, but it's custom. I've seen it. I don't know for sure if Gary's gonna start doing that, but that's what I heard.
Your veneer would be very, very expensive to have it all cut like a brick.
Yeah, you'd rather do it yourself. And I probably could show you guys a little bit of
That's rapid.
the grouting. I'd have to mix it a little bit wetter here with the grout bag.
And behind the tap system, it's just that heavy.
Yeah. She asked, what's behind that tab system? You've got the double D.
Double D tar paper. Yep, and that's basically what you need on this one. There is another tab system that has a matting that goes on behind it for commercial use, more or less.
Yep.
Which I can see it going into residential pretty quickly. You
And
know,
when you do the felt or tar paper
double D.
and the lath,
Yeah.
it's all put on like a shingle system. You put your bottom piece on and you overlap. So
Yeah.
water sheds.
Yes, because you always got to know the water's going to eventually run down the wall and out. You got to have an exit for all water that goes behind a wall.
And
Now,
Bruce.
at the bottom of the stone, he's got a J channel.
With holes in them.
So what it does is help hold your stone when you start, but with the holes in it, the water comes down and it'll drain
Where's
out.
that piece you cut off?
And it's not on the
Good.
tap
It's
system.
right
Yeah,
there.
show that around right there.
That's your bottom piece, and it's galvanized, and that's your starter piece, and also
Slide
it'll
it up.
kick any water
Screw it on.
out and down.
So that's it.
That's amazing,
But, yeah, when you're choosing your stone for your upcoming projects, kind of look at what the look you want to go for. Usually at our showrooms, we have everything laid out, but not all of them are laid out the way they're supposed to be. It just shows the stone better. Yes, but,
Yeah, and panels, sometimes you can't lay a nice ashlar.
yeah.
You get one? You gonna try that?
Hey, Joe, we got,
How long are you with that product? How long do you leave it cure before you go to grout it then?
A lot of people will do it the next day, or
Oh, really?
you can do it the same day though. Yeah, this is,
It'd be better to finish your wall and then grout it.
Together, yeah.
and even like that, this piece I see, if I flip it around, I can use it because that piece below is in my way.
Did you poke holes in it already?
mm-hmm.
There we go, I better turn it
Where
off.
did
It's
that
gonna
flash
come.
go?
That one's good.
This won't work.
What, for like winter veneering outside, obviously here it's brutally cold like it is today.
You
Yeah,
have to build a
They-
shelter
Yeah.
and put heat in there,
And they
and
heat it.
it's very important that the mortar doesn't freeze.
Uh-huh.
That's including your scratch coat
Yeah.
and the butter in the back, and then the wood points, once you say for at least 3-4 days minimum for everything. So you might be up for 2 weeks or something like that.
This one.
And you gotta preheat it beforehand too. You can't have cold
yeah, it won't
cold
stick.
lath or cold cement board. It
Yeah.
will not. It's gotta have the heat, the process from the mortar.
It's
When you mix
nice,
it in with the water for the chemical process for it to turn into mortar so it'll adhere
Yeah.
and protect.
alright. I think I messed around enough, I did 10 times more than I was supposed to.
Okay,
We're supposed
and we
to
got
do
glue for you, Dan.
It's not the vertical lock, but the stuff will work
Oh, yeah.
for the demo.
Yeah, that'll work just fine.
Yep.
This is
No,
the
yeah, I
kind
didn't-
of cocky guns that,
Yeah, it'll go now. But
it will?
Yep.
Did you twist it?
should be ready to go.
There it goes.
So you don't need a lot of glue on that, do you, Dan?
No, and you should do some people say a S. I'm just doing it to get it done.
Grab another piece.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll glue while you.
yeah. But this saves you so much time, and you got a drainage system already, and it'll last forever. And it makes it stupid proof, they say.
It's not coming off there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that have a Mason behind their name, but they're not. That's why I don't claim to be a Mason, because I'm not. I'm a labor by trade.
Now, Dan, when it's brick like that, it's uniform
So
length
this is
and
where
height.
it's bent. This didn't get drilled straight.
Huh?
See this? There's a bend behind that. Shame on you.
Well,
Put a little bit of extra glue in there.
Now,
Right there, squeeze
Dan,
it.
since those are all uniform height and length,
See
when
how
you
this?
start the next row, you'll have to start with a half, right?
Yep, yes, sir.
So then you're gonna have a very straight horizontal and vertical lines, and every other row will line
See how
up
that
then.
is?
you know,
Correct, Dan?
Yeah. What can you expect? Yeah. Yeah, like at the showroom at our other spot, I did it when I was doing too many other
He's
things.
gonna
and
need to split one. Does somebody wanna try to split one in half?
I was gonna say, do they come in halves already pre-made?
No.
You know that brick hammer he had? You
Yeah.
can make your half.
Or actually, the brick set works the best.
I got two that already glued up here. but-
This brick set works the best, and anyone got a?
Your hammer is right there.
You better do it on
Yeah, I'm just
the
looking
front.
for a ruler.
Oh, your eye is good enough, Dan. Just
Yeah.
do it.
No, it isn't.
Oh,
Yes, it is.
Yeah, see,
Well, that didn't work.
It's because you probably are on the plywood, I bet.
Yeah.
And had it in your hand.
You should have a real solid ground.
He's got glue going.
There.
Yeah.
There we go.
Here, we can put this, just so we know where to start this next one. So you
Did you
don't
see
waste
that?
that.
So you can
Here, I
measure.
got,
Where's it? Yeah.
it's in your hand, there we go.
So he put the one with the glue on, but he measured with the piece that he didn't have the glue.
Yeah. And it's probably not exact,
Yeah.
because it broke wrong.
There's
But
a piece
the
over there,
walls-
there's a piece by your glove, by your gloves over there.
Yeah. But this is pretty, you should have a nice straight wall when you put the stab system. Not, we didn't have very good circumstances because temporary sag and stuff.
My wall that I built isn't.
It's not your fault. It's just,
Well, you don't have studs all the way between, it's got a steel frame just all the way around the top and bottom.
right. But,
So
yeah.
my assumption is if you're doing this type of
There's one right
thing
there, Dan.
and on an older house or something like that, you may have to shim out the studs a little bit so then you have a level playing ground. All the old houses are quite always.
Yeah.
Right.
There's another one right there.
Yeah,
We need to split it on.
You don't have to split one.
yeah, you got that right.
Well, you can at least start in the next row with a
Yeah.
full on the left over there.
Yeah.
Should just try it in my hand.
Look at that. Still have it, Dan?
Yeah.
Or you could use a grinder, right? I mean,
Grinder works great.
Yeah.
But we have that Mighty
Or a
C
good
too that
grinder.
you can rent.
Yeah.
The same.
Our Mighty C is the best.
Or a tile saw, right. There's-
And always put your cut in, because mud will hide the cut.
And this is the Mighty C. We've got a splitter. It's hydraulic that we have one
It's
or
not a
two to
straight
rent
joint
out.
there.
One right now to rent out.
But the speed you can put this wall up is
Well, if
way
your-
faster than anybody
If your
can
gluer
mud
was
it.
keeping up with you.
Yeah. Yeah, there's guys that lay 2,000, 3,000 modulars a day out there in a regular mud setting. Blackburn's dead. Sean Blackburn's dead because they 3,000 modulars a day. Think about how many cubes of brick that is. And Sean, who was a world champion, his son, he doesn't like a lot of people knowing that, but that's how he won that red truck he had way back. Oh, look at, oh, that's right,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Yeah. So you can either have a little.
You gotta make it little.
General.
Yeah.
Which is right here.
That thing is amazing, it'll split even the stone from.
It's a good workout for the hands though.
Yeah, my hand's killing me.
My
It's all
uncle,
good.
both my uncles cocked, they did the Wells Fargo Bank. Just them two. All the joints in that whole building, they cocked, two guys. And they had tubes that were longer than that. And they were cocking in the winter, they had the glue in a heated tank so that it could keep moving the cotton. But could you imagine how fast this would cut time? You don't have to put the scratch coat up, you don't have to wait a day to put the scratch coat up and set. And I'd say the glue that works best is, I like that quick setting glue. This stuff
The vertical arc.
works 10 times better than this. It's fast. I don't know how, if you've got,
So this works with wider stone too?
You can do the jumpers, you can split the jumpers.
Oh, okay. Even though
Correct. Isn't that right, Dan, with that Mighty C, you can split some jumpers with that?
yes. Yeah, that Mighty C works better than anything I've used in the days.
It's just not the most precise sometimes.
No,
the light.
it will break in other spots. Sometimes it's got 30,000 PSI.
That's why if you just trimming up a stone, right, if you need to be precise, say take a ace wheel on a grinder,
Yeah.
sort it back.
Or the light.
Put it in there.
Yeah, that's what I like about this stuff is
Do a couple
any
more.
home, anyone at home can do
Do a couple
this.
more, you can do the whole thing.
Just a couple more, my hand's killing me.
And it's nice having a little spacer with you, so you keep your spacing right. Cause but you got time to move the brick to make it work. Magic.
Did you say the vertical grooves were for water drainage as well as?
Yeah, that's what
keeping
this
the drain
drain-
run?
There's
That's
a
what
drain
that drain
that goes
is
all the way
for.
down the
Okay.
back of this. So it works wonderful.
You don't have any glue on that one, dude.
Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself.
You just about, okay.
Yeah. But I think this is tab system. I've wanted to carry this for a long time because I think it helps people that never done it before.
I'm gonna quick go back is we've got corners. We talked about sun heights. If you look at this,
So far.
so this is the one where we've got corners and they have different lengths on the L's.
Want me to squeeze it
So,
up? There you go.
so that's why you're
how I would
looking, so
recommend.
that.
Yeah, I just didn't have the room to do it before.
Another thing is, when you get weathered edge stone, usually only one side will be weathered edged. Because how it gets stained, you get cracks in the face of the stone, you don't get in there and stain it. So,
Are you guys
if I was to
gonna
go
want
back a
one?
half inch and snap, it would look
Maybe.
like this.
I brought 2 boxes of some.
So,
Or right and left.
well, you flip them, yep, different lengths of the L's.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, I gotta make a half.
You need to
So
bring it
that
up.
one is the actual bed face, which is the top of the stone.
Oh, like that?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks like a really, yeah.
Yep.
It's just a lovely color and.
What's the name of that stone?
Now, those are coming from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Yep.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, but anytime you glue, use this, so you always put your cut side in so the mud can cover it up.
So you'll still cut to make sure that you're getting it, you still want to constantly rotate, so you
That front sides.
Yep. Essentially, you're still trying to figure out a way to break up your lines.
And you guys ready for the summer so you can go back in the workforce? I worked year round in the commercial trade because they always had money for heating.
For what? Oh, for heating. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd have these million BTU heaters hooked up to natural gas.
On that one, you'll be stuck. This
No
is
headaches from it, no?
The roll lining up because.
Well, that lovely carbon
Oh, from the
dioxide.
heaters, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we always had, outside ventilation coming in.
yeah.
With the next one, to keep your joints closer, and maybe out, they get out of 2 or 3 weeks, so.
Have it on the book.
So this is actually where you want to get your grinder or your tile saw at, because you break the corners very easily if you're trying to.
Correct. Yep.
No. I made that one a little here. That's what's good about this one, you can adjust it.
So Dan,
Yeah?
you guys all understand the tap system, right? Can we jump back to the veneer and then just talk about grouting and scratching your joint or raising your joints?
Okay. So you're gonna make me go after that bag, huh? How about you mixing up some mud and you use that grout bag?
Add some
Why,
water
is that
to
your
this
least favorite job, is it?
This is like squeezing
one. This is the tough part.
a baker's bag. I open the hole up a little beggar on the end so it comes out. And I need to mix some more mud.
We don't have to do a whole lot, we can just do a couple just to show.
Yeah, I need more, it's gotta be wetter. I'll temper it up. Don't worry, you guys just sit around, let the old man do it. No, Matt does a lot of landscape stuff that's none of us get involved in. So there's no but that does any more than anyone else. This stuff you can have a little wetter because it's gotta go through that little hole.
Do you want me to grab a knife to cut that open a little more?
Yeah, and a razor would be great. But that's literally can be, and I always wet my bag. So, some people have sprayed Pam in here. I've heard every freaking way to do it. But I always open up this hole a little bit.
A straight cut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does not go in, it does not go, come out as easy as it goes in.
So when you're laying stone, you can just go straight up, just do a whole wall, that's fine. When you're
It's like a baker's bag.
when you're doing your joints, you kind of have to work in sections because you'll fill, and then the mortar comes up enough to where you have to what we call raking the joints. And it's taking and scraping the excess mortar away. And there's a specific kind of time when you want to do that. If it's when the
This is
mortar
not,
is kind of, it'll
Wetter
turn kind of crumbly,
and
and
it
that's when
takes
you
a
want to do
while.
it.
And so there's kind of different textures after it's sort of dried a little bit. You can either strike it,
Yep.
or you can scratch it out a bit.
Yep.
Take the joint out
Yep.
in, so it doesn't.
And actually grouting makes your job look 10 times better. You can make a bad job look good actually with a good grout. This isn't wet enough, but this will just build up this grip a little better. Yeah, so I would tend to say that you'd want your mud to be fairly wet going into this grout bag.
Now, depending on when you strike it, and correct me if I'm wrong, it'll either look lighter when it dries or darker. Did you say that when I was
Yes.
out and about? Okay,
No.
sorry. But which is which, if you strike it when it's too wet or not, when it's
If
wetter,
it's too wet, it's lighter. If it's too dry, it's darker.
then it'll dry darker. So
We
it'll,
always-
it'll almost look like white mortar if you strike it way too soon, and look like darker gray if you wait a while.
We can let this sit, wait a little bit while we go eat, then we can show you what we do after the fact.
Yeah.
Is it too slow to not use a baker's bag? Because I know when I did a lot of that sort of work, I actually preferred using the trowel and just using my
Well,
slick.
you can do it any way you feel. When this is mixed right,
Whatever works, yeah.
it goes, I can grout a whole wall really quick.
Then you clean up some of that.
And you get deep penetration, but that's not the wrong way to do it the way you're talking.
It's nice to have a bag to do that, but then.
In fact, I was thinking about the color of the grout. We can show you some boards out in the room out there that are both gray mortared, but one looks white and one looks dark gray because we struck them at different times. So we can show you some out there. We know which ones they are.
That
So
can happen if you're working the shade side versus the sunny side.
yeah, yep.
Trying to get enough so we can see the wall.
So what's a good estimate of time for this stuff?
Probably about 30, 45 minutes, somewhere in there, but it really is.
We're
environment
inside, so it
dependent.
dries.
Yeah, and you can almost touch it if you touch the grout and feel how thick it is or how set up it is.
So here's a perfect, if you feel this,
Yeah,
that's gonna be the texture at which you're gonna wanna start striking the joint.
yeah, it can be even this consistent.
Right.
See, it'll crumble,
It's
that's,
almost like a soft mud.
yeah. So,
Once it's in there, especially, just keep an eye on it and then
this is kind of.
deal.
Yeah, you can walk away from a wall and fix it up real quick.
That's when you wanna start.
But you guys go eat, I'll finish.
We have to do the whole thing, Dan, we can just show them.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't gotta do much. Just whatever's in the bag now, Dan, it's fine.
Just let them eat, and they can all take the tool and strike it then too.
Yeah.
Yeah, do we got something to strike them?
Because we gotta let it sit.
We've got some strikers here.
I brought a couple
Yeah. I
slippers.
saw them.
But we should let it sit, like you
Yep.
said, it was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Once you
Yeah,
get
and-
back while we're joining, and we strike.
When you use that, you can fix problems that you see with that slicker.